Here at the Hive in Barnet. Phil, you had an opportunity to see some of the youngsters today you put into the squad. What was your assessment of them?
Very interesting, very exciting. I think we're looking at players that have got a chance in the game. You know, they put a little marker down today. I know there was nothing to play for per se, but there's always something to play for. And I think Seb Thompson's been chomping at the bit, to tell you the truth. I think he plays football that way. You know, he looks like he's an explosive kind of player. He looks like he's a front man that knows where the goal is for sure, but he never got any real well, he got half a chance in the first half, but it was offside and he just missed the target. But Noah's got a chance as well. Noah Rubio, all the family were here. It's great to see. I think the progress that the football club has made in terms of the academy and the kids coming through the education system is second to none. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I wasn't just throwing away shirts there. I've been watching them very closely. I've been watching them playing for the under 18s, under 19s. They've been training with us on a regular basis and not being embarrassed by training or mixing with senior professional footballers. That for me led me to throw them in last game of the season. And again, you know, you're bringing them to the Hive, and Barnet have had a magnificent season, it has to be said. Good footballing team, deserve to be where they are. Just come up against a team called Chesterfield who actually ran away with it and left them behind to a certain extent. But they've had a magnificent season, and I wish them well in the playoffs. But they didn't embarrass themselves against them. You know, it was a competitive first half, only to be unhinged by a mistake from a senior pro, which, you know, Matty Preston, he's been a good servant to the football club. Slips up in the 6-yard box. Next thing you know, we're 1-0 down, and again the striker pulls off him in the dying minutes of the first half, and we go 2-0 down and again give ourselves an uphill task or a mountain to climb. But we climbed it to a certain extent. At 3-1, the chances that probably Oxlade-Chamberlain has missed at the far post, and one or two others as well, not just Ox. The chances to get to maybe 3-2 or even sniff at 3-3 came and went, and then unfortunately a deflection goes in the back of the net in the 95th minute. That probably sums up our season in a nutshell. Second half, the performance was 2-0 down, went 3-0 down, sort of semi-climbed the mountain, raised the gallop or raised the expectation levels of the supporters, then let them down again, and that's what we've done in the last 18 games. If I give you the figures, you'd be astounded in the first 9 games compared to the second 9 games. And people talk about new manager bounce. It's got nothing to do with new manager bounce. It was 9 games what we were capable of. We were actually top of the table in terms of form in 9 games. And in the second 9 games, we were 23rd. That for me is unacceptable. You go from chalk to cheese in football, you've got no chance of getting any kind of consistency. And that level of consistency is something I'll be looking for in the pre-season, if I'm still here, and certainly in the season and the recruitment process and the recruitment policy that we're going to employ at this football club to try and get them out of the National League North.
As you say, would you be looking for an immediate return from National League North, therefore? Will you?
Nothing short of. I think the demands of the supporters, I think the demands of myself on the players, I think the demands of the chairman and the owners of the football club are there for me to hear, and hopefully for everybody to see next season if I'm here. Again, I'm emphasising I haven't put pen to paper, but the contract negotiations are fairly deep. They're fairly far down the line, if you like, and it's something I regret seeing. You know, having to go to the National League North to get my career going again, but at the same time having fallen in love with the project to a certain extent. 18 games has wet me whistle. Non-league football, it's a cruel thing to say in non-league football, because we're in a league, so that's certainly not a non-league. We're in a league and we know which league that is, and we know, hopefully, fingers crossed, how to get out of that league.
You say that looking to get out of it, there are a number of players who came up the first time round. If you're here, do you feel that some of those may still be given the chance for next season?
I think we've got to look long and hard at what we've done, and it's not the technical side of the group that I'm questioning, it's the mental side of the group, you know, it's the character side of the group. A team that's normally flying a Phil Brown flag, if you like. I like a team full of characters. I like a team full of Ian Ashbys that played right the way through the second division, right to the Premier League with Hull City. And that's the kind of character I'm talking about. Now, they're few and far between, but if you can get one or two of them that can drive the workforce, as it were, on the field of play between 3 o'clock and 5, you've got a great chance of having a coach on the field of play, somebody who's a leader that can make decisions on the field of play before you have to. I think we lost that when we lost the skipper at Woking. If you look at the results after the Woking game, they tell a story, and that's the story of the season so far. Doing well in 9 games, lost the skipper, an influential player on and off the field of play, and having lost him, sort of knocked the stuffing out of the club, out of the character of the club, and nobody stepped up to replace that. We've had captains, of course we had, but not captains in the likes of Shane Burns. So, well, you know, there's a lot of hard talking to be done with regards to some players coming in to the football club or staying at the football club or going out in the football club. But that, in a nutshell, is probably a manager's job at the end of the season going into the next.
And finding a 35 or 37 goal striker, as we were talking last week, the likes of McCullum, they don't come around very often, do they, Paul?
They don't come around, and they probably, if truth be known, he should be playing at a higher level. If you score 35 goals on a regular basis in the National League, you shouldn't be in the National League, you should be in the league. You should be in AFL 2 or even 1. Phenomenal return, but our return, we managed to get in the 40s. We could have got 42, 43 if truth be known, the chances that we created in the second half, but the game was dead and buried, and you know, I think if I give Barnet the credit that they deserve, they took their foot off the gas a wee bit, and that to me, it's unacceptable to happen at Kidderminster Harriers. You've got to make sure that they've got to be full tilt to win a game 3 or 4. But they took their foot off the gas and allowed us back into the game, and yes, we huffed and puffed, but again, that more or less sums up the season.